So I'm going to show you how we handle tags and where they get assigned, and then how we can search back through tags to find out what raw materials went into product. And then we'll talk a little bit more about Metrc. So let's come back here. I'm now in our Cultivation Role Center, and we'll talk about this in another webinar, but here I can see all kinds of information about what we're growing, doing in our grow right now. Because I thought it would be fun for you to see how we assign tags to plants too. So let's first talk about how we create the tags. If you're in a Metrc state or a non-Metrc state, you'll create the tags that you're, well, actually, you don't have to go through this process. Okay, let's start over. Sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and go into our CBC tags so we can see how we track the tags if you're in a Metrc state. And this is handled differently in BioTrack states, or if you're in a state that doesn't have Metrc. But basically, when you're in a Metrc state, you're going to buy tags from the state. And when you get those tags, you'll come into this process and say you want to generate new tags. You'll tell the system the location that you bought the tags for, what the type of tag is it a plant tag or package tag, and you can create your own types, and then what the starting number is and how many you got. So if you got 10,000 tags, boom, it'll go ahead and add them. So consider this your tally of all the tags. You'll notice for every tag, I have kind of some boring numbers and some exciting numbers. I have the liberty to create any sample data I want. But here you'll see for the tags we've used, we can identify what product is on that tag, what it is, how much we have left of that, and then we can always trace back to where it came from. So you'll never lose this data. You'll always have information about all your different tags. In our cultivation section, let's go in to see what mature plants we have growing right now. Here you'll see I have all these different plant batches that are growing. And if I open any one of them, here I can see in this batch, I have, again, it's kind of a small set of data, 5 plants, and here's the Metrc tags associated with them. So as I grow these plants or move them around or destroy them, our system's going to track everything. We have a destruction tracking. We track all the movements, and you'll always be able to see the footprint, so to speak, of your plants, of where they've been and where they are right now. So if an auditor ever comes in, you'll be able to quickly check and see where, pull up where the plant is, and you'll be able to, show that your records match reality. Another feature that I think is pretty exciting about Business Central and kind of our functionality is what we call the tag finder. And this is essentially our lot traceability, but a little bit deeper. So let's say you've sold a product to a customer and the customer has a complaint about that. So let's say the tag, they tell you the tag number. So I'm going to type in the tag they told us that had a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I always remember that tag number. So here's the tag that's missing. I'm sorry, it's not tag, it's PKG. Hang on. Okay, so this is the tag they had a complaint about. So I'm going to type in the tag and do search. And up pops, okay, this is the tag. I can see some information about it, what it was and who we sold it to. And in fact, now I can drill a little bit deeper. I can hit our navigate button. I can see the invoice about this tag. So if we open this invoice up, we can see what we sold it for, who we sold it to. So it was a 10-pack package of gummies that we sold Sweet Nectar. And from here, I can drill into the lot information card. And we can open that up. I can see the QC results associated with this batch. Now I happen to know my pack of 10 gummies inherits the QC result of the bulk gummies that I made. So I might have made a couple thousand gummies and then packaged them in packs of 10. And here I can see the QC results associated with that. But where it gets really fun, if you ask me, is I can come into item tracing. And from here, it quickly exploded. Let's compress some of this. So we know we sold this pack of 10, 2 packs of 10 to Sweet Nectar. As I explode it, I can see where it all came from. So in fact, these 2 packs of 10 came from a batch that had Metrc tag 08 on it, a batch of 40 packs of 10. So I made 40 packs of 10, put Metrc tag 08 on it, and then I pulled 2 of them off so I could sell it to Sweet Nectar. These packs of 10, the 40 packs of 10, came from a batch of bulk gummies that were on tag 7. I had produced 1,000 and I pulled 400 off onto tag 7. The batch of raw distillate that went into these bulk gummies was tag 06. I did things sequentially here. That's not really real world, but it's easier to follow that way. My crude oil that went into the raw distillate was tag 05. And ultimately, that crude oil came from this tag of bulk trim from my vendor. So now we might be wondering, okay, we know all the raw materials that went into it. We know who, we can find out, first of all, who else got this tag 08, because tag 08, it really was the same production run of these two. So I could trace to see who else got tag 08, and we know if we have to do a recall. Or I might realize maybe the problem was my bulk distillate. I can take this bulk distillate and go into trace the opposite direction. So now I can see who else got that bulk distillate and where else it might have gone. So here I can see it also went into Pineapple Express, some cartridges, wherever it went. I know it doesn't necessarily make sense, but we're able to trace from finished good to raw material and raw material to finished good. So that's a little bit about our tag finder, and how you can get, see where things went, the whole chain of, I don't want to say chain of custody, the whole chain of raw material to finished good. Finally, of course, an important part of these tags is that Metrc integration. And I threw reference to it, and Jennifer referenced it a little bit. I thought we'd just spend the last few minutes talking about the Metrc integration and how that would really work. So Jennifer, would you like to speak about that again a little bit more?
Oh, sure. So what we have done with Metrc is anywhere that we are able to, we try to make it so that you don't have to do duplicate entry in both the Business Central ERP and in Metrc. So we have lots of integration points wherever Metrc allows us to have them. So when we receive inventory, when we I was going to say ship it, which is actually kind of true. We can create templates for manifest that then can be manifested in Metrc to help really reduce the data entry. When we do all those tag conversions that you just saw in the item tracing that Sarah showed you, we can post that functionality in Business Central to say, okay, I consumed this and I output that, and that creates the related tag conversion in Metrc. If we do adjustments to inventory, when we destroy it, all of that integrates with Metrc. As we move through our cultivation process, we're able to create and change phases on plant batches and send that data to Metrc. So wherever possible, we have done that in order to help keep everything in line. And of course, there's always a reconciliation tool that we have at the end to make sure that the results of everything that we expect to have happened in both systems.